I'll come back into the site plan.
Okay, we'll reconvene this meeting now. Picking up at item P115-16, which is the report with regarding the municipal support resolution requests for FIT 5 rooftop solar energy projects. And the recommendation for that report is that PD 150-16 regarding municipal support resolution requests for the FIT 5.0 rooftop solar energy projects dated November 14th, 2016 be received. And the council authorize the mayor and clerk to sign a municipal support resolution, the 100 kW FIT rooftop solar panel project on a vacant parcel of land located on Part Lot 8, Concession 2, fronting Smithville Road, Regional Road 14. New building proposed with dimensions of 100 by 100, and the 100 kW FIT solar panel project at 1046 Smithville Road, Regional Road 14, on a new accessory agricultural building with dimensions of 100 by 100. And that the mayor and clerk have authority to sign the support resolutions prior to the ratification of this report by town council. Moved by Councillor Ganand, seconded by Mayor Joyner. Anyone wishing to discuss this item? Councillor Rayner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There was one brought up a month or so ago, with regards to solar roof on a barn.
I believe so.
Is that the same?
No.
No, these are two different ones. That's it? Okay. These are two brand-new buildings that are under construction, which is one of the,
I thought the other one was
It's the third one.
yes, sorry.
good.
I just said these two.
Correct, but not totally correct.
Okay, other comments? Councillor Bell.
I just have, like, Councilor Rainey's right, there was one come forward last month. The planning of it was, it explained a lot. It had a good site plan. It showed you where the buildings were, the existing buildings, where the new ones were going. This one really lacks a lot. It doesn't have any of that. It's just overview, saying here's where the existing building is, and a little white spot saying here's where the other one's going. You know, the direction of where the panels are facing, what's the closest home to it. There's some brief descriptions in there. Like I say, it really does lack, so, you know, for the individual bringing this forward, in the future, you need to provide more detail of what you're doing instead of waiting until the night you come to provide that. So that's just a comment right now.
Thank you. Councillor Bell, and you're absolutely right. Certainly these come forward with a very short window for us to be able to make an understanding, and the more information, the better. Any other comments? Okay. Councillor Trombetta.
To Mr. Trouble, have the permits been taken off for the new builds yet? Sorry, through you, Madam Chair, to Mr. Trouble. Have the permits been already issued for the new builds or no?
Through you, no, in none of the cases, neither the one last month that Councillor Rayner is referring to, nor these two new ones have the permits been submitted yet. I know the one last month is conditional on getting that approval as to whether they go ahead or not. I'm not as familiar as to whether these two are hinged to whether the solar approvals are issued or not, but certainly at this point, no building permits are in.
Councillor Rayner. Oh, sorry. Councillor Trombetta, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you,
Madam Chair, through you to Mr. Trouble. Is there a reason why this has to be pushed through, as Councillor Bell says, and Chairman says, why so quickly? Why haven't we kind of slow this down so that we have everything in order, that everything looks correct? Like, this is basically a hypothetical approval on something that may or may not happen. Which
We have approved others, and they have not achieved approval and construction.
Right, but, okay, I follow what you're saying, Madam Chair, but two wrongs don't make a right.
Understood.
If we now look at this and say, well, maybe we should have done this kind of a different way, I'm kind of bringing us up to committee right now that maybe we should have all our ducks in order, and this is part of the order that they fit into.
Yes.
And once they have all the background information, that would support something like this much easier for the committee to approve, when all the other work that would justify that they're serious, that this is being done, the permits have been issued, we're ready to go, then it makes sense. But you're approving something when there isn't even a building permit, it seems like we've got the cart ahead of the horse.
Mr. Treble, would you like to comment on that?
Two thoughts that come immediately to mind, Madam Chair. First, we're simply one cog, so to speak, in the provincial approval process. We're not the final approval authority. The province ultimately is. So the building permit application at this stage is not mandatory in order to make the application to the province for funding. The second piece, I guess, just to share with committee is that we've established over the last year and a half to 2 years some criteria that we've used to evaluate these. Most other municipalities just grant a blanket resolution and don't care about the details. Anybody can make an application anytime. In this case, we're asking for as much detail as possible, and it's difficult because they're working on the application with the province as they're making the discussions to the township. But ultimately, the province sets the timelines, and in this particular case, they have until the 25th, or else the window is closed, and there's perhaps, based on what I heard, no more chances to make these applications. So I think the reality is the timing is kind of out of our control because the province sets that timeline, and the 25th is prior to council, so we need to deliberate on it tonight, and if we're supportive, grant authority for signature right away.
Thank you. Councillor Rayner?
Madam Chair, then through you back to Mr. Treble. The questioning back in then, how long ago was the notification that it was the 25th? Surely the province didn't say this in the last month or something, so that it's quickly got put on this agenda. How much
He said they were on the
notice has
7th.
it been?
Through you, Madam
Mr.
Chair.
Treble, please.
Pretty much exactly what Councillor Rayner suggests wouldn't have happened has happened. The province opens the window basically, and you got to turn around on a dime.
So when, through you, Madam Chair, when was the notice given that time was running out on the 25th?
The deadline of the 25th was set on November 3rd.
There you go.
It's similar to other green energy initiatives. You miss it if you don't do it fast enough. There you go. So that's why Councillor Bell made the comment that come in with as much as you got and be ready, because there's just no time between you asking and you need it. Right? Other questions, concerns? Okay, with regard to the motion on the floor and the site, a recommendation for, oops, I moved on, sorry, for the municipal support resolution. All in favor? Against? That motion carries. Okay. With regard to item P116-16, that's you guys. If you don't want to sit and be bored, you're more than welcome to leave, but you're welcome to spend the rest of the night with us. Item P116-16, with regard to the site plan agreement for crossing on the 20 plan of condominium with Dahan Homes and Meridian Credit Union. The recommendation is that report PD 142-16 regarding the site plan agreement for crossings on the 20 plan of condominium with Dahan Homes and Meridian Credit Union, file number 2100-008-16 dated November 14th, 2016 be received, and that the mayor and clerk be authorized to sign a site plan agreement for crossings on the 20 with Dahan Homes, Inc. and Meridian Credit Union for the land situated on the north side of Town Line Road once the site plan is in an appropriate form for signing, and that a bylaw be passed to authorize the mayor and clerk to sign and execute the said site plan agreement. I need a mover for that motion. Councillor Bell, Councillor Bilsma, did I see your hand? Okay. Okay, so here comes the question about site plan hoarding and all that other kind of stuff, but not to prompt anybody. Is there anyone with any comments? Seeing none. All those in favor? That motion carries. With regard to the information report on the provincial review of the Ontario Municipal Board, P177-16. The report PD 137-16 regarding provincial review of the Ontario Municipal Board dated November 14th, 2016 be received for information, and that the committee authorize staff to endorse the recommendations contained within the RPCO's report reforming the Ontario Municipal Board, 5 actions for change, and submit this report to the province through the consultation process as the formal township comments. I need a mover. Councillor Bell, Councillor Ganaan. Comments? Having seen, I'm sorry, Councillor Bell, did you? No? All in favor? That motion carries. With regard to item P11816, recommendation report for the naming of Manorwood Drive and Forest View Court by bylaw and the issuance of a certificate of completion and assumption of streets and works for Brookside's phases 1 and 2. Now I know why we have friends in the audience. That report, BD 13616, regarding naming Manorwood Drive and Forest View Court by bylaw and issuance of a certificate of completion and assumption of streets and works for Brookside Phases 1 and 2, the developer being Phelps Homes Limited, dated November 14th, 2016, be received and that the bylaw be passed to officially name Manorwood Drive and Forest View Court, and that a final certificate of completion be issued for Brookside Phase 1, Plan 30M-368, and Brookside Phase 2, Plan 30M-390, and that the township assume the Brookside plans of subdivision 30M-368 and 30M-390 in accordance with Schedule A of the attached draft bylaws, and that the bylaw be passed to assume Forest View Court, Oakdale Boulevard, and Manorwood Drive. Moved by Mayor Joyner, seconded by Councillor Ganaan. Comments? Seeing none? All in favor? That motion carries. And here I was thinking it was our wonderful personalities that kept people in their chairs. I could have moved that one to the end. No. Okay, with other business, we have item P119-16, Director of Planning and Building, with regard to the Deputy Chief Building Official and information. Mr. Treble, just before you go there, could you perhaps just introduce this fine young gentleman who I had the pleasure of meeting in the hallway just moments ago? We were both going to wash our hands. Anyway, yes, separate ways.
Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad to be able to present to you our new Planner 2, Garrett Bourma, who has been with us now for, what, 2 weeks or 3 weeks? 4 weeks. Holy cow.
Wow, a lifetime.
He's an old hat already. So the reality is that Garrett comes with us, or comes to us with some good experience from the private sector, and also some creativity and local energy to boot. So I am thrilled to have Garrett on board my team, and I think you will find him a great asset to the team, and he'll be presenting to you in the future. I gave him sort of an easy one tonight just to observe. So.
Well, thank you, Mr. Treble, and certainly welcome, Garrett. It's nice to have you here. Fresh new faces always put us on edge, and we have to find really difficult questions to ask you, but don't be afraid of these questions. Sometimes we ask silly ones, just answer them. Thank you so much. Now, Mr. Bilsma, it's me that asked the silly question. No, just me. People are wondering who asked the silly questions. That would be me. Director of Planning and Building, Mr. Treble. Deputy Chief Building Official.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, this is just an information item to say that at Council on the 28th, there'll be a bylaw on the agenda to appoint a Deputy Chief Building Official. This is just a backup in those instances where we don't have our Chief Building Official on staff and there may be need to approve some building permits. And the backup we're proposing is Mr. Lyle Merritt. He's currently with the town of Port Colborne. We've done a little bit of swapping of services of late. He's assisted us here a little bit, and we've assisted him down there. And come the new year, he's actually retired. And it's just helpful to have that backup in the event that Jeff is off on holiday, which he will be actually the first week of July. The other piece that Lyle can offer that there aren't a lot of backup resources for is the septic inspection function, which he's qualified to do as well. So, Madam Chair, I'm recommending that we simply pass a bylaw so that he's there in the event that we need to call him in, and we don't have to race and pass a bylaw at the last moment.
So this is for information, and we'll see that report
The
at the
bylaw-
28th on Council.
The bylaw will be part of the council package, that's correct.
Thank you. There's no action for us tonight, and I see no one asking any questions, so we'll move on to members of committee. Other business of an informative nature. Councillor Bell, we'll start with you, since you've got something.
I just want to say the Thursday on the 10th, attended the South Lincoln High School for the district school board for the closing of the school, June 2017. The turnout could have been better, I must admit. I was hoping to see more people there, but for those that were there was a lot of good points made. There's no doubt about it. And I'm hoping that the board did listen to the comments of the people and they come back with a positive result. But, truthfully, I'm not that confident, but I hope they do. There is 2 more meetings planned. So, and the second point was Remembrance Day service. Extremely windy, but a great attendance. And the service, again, as usual, was great. It was a nice service, very respectful. And a great lunch offered to everyone that attended after.
Oh, you got to go in and get a
That was-
seat. Councillor
that was
Gannon and I
excellent.
had to stand outside in the wind and decide to freeze. And I had
That
a
was
3-year-old that didn't want to stand there.
Yeah, no winds, no nothing, but it was a great service, well attended.
Yes, it was.
That's-
It was an
that's all I
excellent.
gotta say. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Billsman, you're good?
Nothing further. We were at the Remembrance Day, the cold movement I can attest to.
I saw that you had a 3 or 4-year-old with you too, Councillor
Yeah,
Billsma.
yeah. So
Yes.
They were bundled, eh?
That's right. They weren't upset at all.
They weren't upset at all. Okay.
Okay. Councillor Gannon.
Okay, I also attended both Remembrance Day and the high school. I'm hoping that what comes out of that meeting with the high school is that they will take into consideration our potential growth. They seem to be stuck in looking at figures from 5 years ago. I think that Mayor Joyner will attest to that. And we're looking at the fact that we are not going to grow sufficiently to maintain that high school. And I think that there certainly is potential for growth of young families and eventually high school students. So I hope they'll reconsider, but I'm not sure either.
Thank you. Yes, and certainly, thank you for those comments. And Mayor Joyner, I wasn't trying to suggest you weren't at Remembrance Day. Thank you very much for placing the wreaths on behalf of ourselves in the region. It was a very, very lovely service. So do you, sir.
I have nothing at this time, actually. Everybody has said what I was going to say. so-
Okay. Councillor Trombetta? And Councillor Joyner. Alderman Joyner. Alderman Rayner. That's what I was trying to do, was get the alderman in there, and I got it the wrong way. But when he was on council, it wasn't alderman, so, he wouldn't be offended. No.
No? When they changed halfway through last?
No, we didn't give him 2 plates. It's okay. Okay, having said all that, just before, I hear your points about the high school, and I certainly hope, and I echo everything that's been said around the table, but I do hope that we get a chance to talk about the considerations of the high school closing as a council at some point and make our voice known as one entire council. And I look at some of the other uses that are in the high school right now, namely the co-op preschool, which is of value and is going to be homeless as well as the rest of those kids, and the growing number of children that are coming to West Lincoln. Anyway, anyone on? Sure, I haven't gone to the staff yet, and I know that'll take an hour, so.
I just want to make one more comment.
Sure.
I would like to commend you on the time frame tonight for this meeting.
Moving it through?
It was tremendous. I've never seen a planning and build environmental committee meeting go this quick.
Councillor Bell, I have found
I
the
can-
solution. You people blame it on me for listening to the public. You crank up the heat in this room, and you guys don't want to talk anymore. So this isn't my fault when they bubble on. This is going to be hot and out. And thank you for your compliment. Councillor Rayner.
She's got a point.
Madam Chair, I concur with Councilor Bell. It was amazing. Unfortunately, I believe our CAO has really
Loaded up.
possibly wrecked this evening with regards to time by numerous pages of confidential matters that I'm sure will totally obliterate all that beautiful effort that
Crank the
we
heat.
today to get this done.
Frank the heat, yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Bell, Councillor Rayner, but you know what? I have an equal solution to this. And that is, I know that Mr. Carter hates heat. So if you guys would just go to those thermostats and turn it up a notch, we'll be out of here in 5 minutes.
Pull out the Speedos.
Please. No bad jokes. Okay, anything else? No? I'm looking at members of staff.
No.
Okay, so, now I have to get back to, my planning agenda. Okay, which has, yes, a number of items for which we have to go into camera for. So we have a legal matter, by law enforcement. You know, a lot of these have a repetition in them, so I'm going to ask the clerk, if I read the condition which takes us into council once, and all the items, I mean, personal matters about an identifiable individual virtually goes through all of them. Do we have to read it after every one of these, Madam Clerk? And if not tonight, could you please look into that? Because we've got, you know, we take 15 minutes of airtime just to try and explain why we're going in camera. And all of these have that matter in it. But just to keep peace in the family, I'm going to read it all. So we have item P121-16, a legal bylaw enforcement and site alteration enforcement matter, which puts us into camera regarding personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Item P122-16, which is a legal property personnel matter relating to an identifiable individual, relating to bylaw enforcement, court order issue, and/or site alteration, and that is for advice. It takes us into camera regarding advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board, and personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, as well as security of property, of the municipality or local board. Item P123-16, which is regarding legal property personnel matter relating to an identifiable individual regarding a transmission line, South Grimsby Road 6 issues, and that takes us into camera under litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or a local board, personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and security of property or the municipality or local board. These so far are all verbal updates and continue as so. P124-16, a legal matter or personnel matters about an identifiable individual, court hearing, building and permit order, and that takes us into camera under personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before an administrative tribunal affecting the municipality or local board. P125-16, a legal matter, FWRNLP, Industrial Wind Turbine Project, Road Use Agreement, and Tree Replacement. This is a verbal update where you have attachments under a separate cover. That takes us into camera under litigation or potential litigation, including matters before an administrative tribunal affecting the municipality or local board, and advice that is subject to a solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Item P126-16, a legal matter, FWRNLP Industrial Wind Turbine Project, Road Use Agreement, Road Repairs. That is to a verbal update with attachment sent to you under separate cover. That takes us into camera under litigation or potential litigation, including matters before an administrative tribunal affecting the municipality or local board. Advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. And item P127-16, which is a property matter, potential acquisition of property by the municipality. This is a verbal update with attachments being sent to you under separate cover, and taking us into closed session is a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. That concludes all of my items going to camera, so I ask that we be moved into camera. Councillor Bell, seconded by Councillor Rayner. All in favor? That motion carries. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was very good to have you attend this evening. They all heard the temperature was going up. Who's putting